Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is a personal reading for someone who feels like all hell is just breaking loose in their life. They've had a lot of relationships all of a sudden just fall out of their life, family members and friends, and they've left a more traditional path in order to pursue their dream and their writing, and they just don't really feel like there's a lot of abundance coming in with that, and they're a little worried about how to step forward at this time and where to go, because their foundation has kind of been just, they feel like they're losing their foundation here, which there's a strong foundation for you in this. I truly feel that. So if you are resonating with this, then stay tuned. Maybe there's some messages that will come through for you as well. And as always, check out the description below to see how you can find out how to purchase a personal reading with me. So I'm actually going to read this person's email. I'm going to leave all the personal details out, but maybe that'll help those of you guys who are watching kind of understand this a little bit more. So this email reads, "A few days ago, I had a sudden falling out with my sister I was telling you about. I'm struggling to make sense of why it happened, because we fought before, but this time the separation feels very final. It makes no sense because we made a pact recently to be each other's anchor. Also, I'm feeling really stuck with the book I'm writing. I'm feeling out of sorts and I'm looking for a way forward. I feel like I'm trying to build a solid future that's more aligned with my soul, but I'm watching what I thought were my most precious relationships fall down around me. Another friendship that I held close ended the day after my falling out with my sister. I'm not sure what kind of reading to call this, but I'm open to hearing whatever you pick up. Not, okay, thanks." That's what they said. Okay, so, yes, I can totally resonate with this. And a lot of you guys who come to me, ironically, I've been through a lot of these same things. And doesn't mean I'm an expert on this, but by all means, I've been using these cards and it's helping me through. And so I'm feeling like there's definitely some good messages in here for you. And this is actually the second time I'm recording this reading. Strangely enough, yesterday I tried to record this and had some weird, just random technical malfunctions, and that's happened before with like one other reading, and I just got it as a message that for some reason that wasn't the message for you and that we needed to do this again. So thanks again for your patience, and I pulled a couple extra cards for you in this reading. Hopefully that will make up for that. But yes, I'm seeing your current energy, and I do actually remember what the current energy was in your last reading, and it was like abundance reversed. And so you're having these blocks right now with your abundance, and I just feel like, you know, the healing card is coming out for you in your current energy. Like, obviously, you're going to need to heal after all of this. But I feel like this is a really natural path. Sometimes in life, there's certain people and like situations and habits and whatnot that have to fall away in order for us to come to our greatest good. It's just true. Unfortunately, I've experienced this in my life, and it's been one of the hardest things. Like, as an empath, it can be so hard to let certain people go, and sometimes you don't understand why they had to go until retrospect. And so what I'm seeing here is there's a larger picture here, and there's a hand in your life. The divine has a hand in your life. And this fairness card is coming out. It says, "The situation will be handled in a fair and just manner." A huge message that came out for you in the reading I did yesterday was that everything is going to be balanced for you in time. And so I want to read you this card because I remember getting this when I was in like a legal situation a couple years ago, and it was so frustrating, and I got this card like over and over, and eventually everything worked out perfectly. But I see like this energy, it's hard to understand when you haven't had a lot of experience with it. And so this card says, "Let me suggest another definition for fairness. It's when all parties involved surrender their personal agendas in favor of the greater good for the entirety of the group. This requires trust in the wisdom of the whole. When it comes to matters of disputes, the attacks are based on fears that you may not receive your share. Yet, attacks amplify the hurt and the pain that caused the dispute in the first place. Why not surrender your attachment to a specific outcome and instead direct your holy will toward the resolution of the argument? Hold a firm vision of a peaceful outcome and let the pieces fall into place in a harmonious manner." So I love that. I mean, that's kind of high vibe. It's kind of hard to get to that place in the middle of all this healing. But they're saying, you know, there's a bigger picture for the group, for all of you guys, why this happened. And you all are going to learn and grow from it. But they're just acknowledging where you're at right now. Like, you need healing. And, like, this is the path that's leading you to your healing. And I feel like this has a lot to do with your book. And it has a lot to do with your abundance. This phrase is coming out for you. The wound is your teacher. So I truly believe that these wounds you've received, they're ultimately going to teach you. And they're going to reveal to you the truth. Because healing is revealing. All healing is revealing your inner truth to you. That you are already healed, whole, and complete. But we can't deny these strong energies that are coming in. Like, you're going to have to just go through this. This is part of your path. And it's divinely orchestrated here. So let's look now at what energy is leaving your life. So you started a new path. This card is the same as the Fool in traditional tarot. So you've started a new path, and you decided to go out for your passion. You finally figured out what your passion was in this writing in this book. And so that's the energy that's leaving. Let's see what energy is coming in. You know what? You're actually going to find a whole new level of ecstasy and passion in your life. This is going to unlock a whole new level for you. And that's what happened for me after certain people left my life. It was hard at first. I had a lot of healing to do. And it was very, very difficult to say the least. But eventually I had all this energy and all this space cleared in order for me to find myself. And I feel like this is going to give you more energy and more space for you to be able to heal, first of all, but also to be able to unlock these blocks with your abundance. Because I feel like these blocks, you know, your abundance is really tied to your relationships and your sense of safety and your sense of security. This is all root chakra stuff we're talking about here. And when you're constantly being triggered by certain relationships that are in your life and drama and stress, it's very hard for you to feel grounded and to feel secure enough in order to be able to generate this abundance and attract it to you. So definitely look into root chakra clearing. If you really want to get into this whole thing and go deep, you can do root chakra meditations. And I've done a lot, actually. That's where I started with my healing. I didn't know where to start, and the psychic, the clairvoyant consultant I was going to, told me to start at the root. Start at your root chakra, and I didn't know what that meant, but that ended up starting me off on this whole path of healing and finding my truth, and I just feel like that's what you're going on here. Now these relationships, although they helped you, it's like you kind of outgrew them, and now you're going to be able to grow in a new direction and like become more strong on yourself. And I do feel a little bit of codependency with these relationships, and obviously it takes one to know one. I've struggled with that on my path, and I feel like for you, it's like learning how to stand on your own and be independent, which I pulled for you, is going to be very important. Next, what I'm seeing is the situation with your sister. What's going on there? And look, you got the boundaries card, and you got this last time. So I believe these are strong messages for you, and this message, specifically this one, you were meant to hear versus the other one, but you're still getting the boundaries card in this placement. And so it says, love yourself enough to say no to others' demands on your time and energy. And that's what was happening, is like all this was leeching your energy. How can you go forward and move forward in your career? How can you do that without basically having boundaries and creating this time on your own? And so they're saying right now you're going to be able to gather strength, and these clouds around you are going to dissipate, and you're going to have focus. And this hawk is a sign of opportunity. So believe it or not, these relationships that left your life this is actually an opportunity for you. This is a path for you. This is meant to be. Good things are happening. It doesn't mean that these people are awful. It doesn't mean that you should direct any hatred towards them. It's okay if you feel angry and upset at what happened, but just realize, everyone here on this planet, we all have an ego personality. And sometimes our ego personalities do crazy things, and you're not immune from that, neither am I. And, you're eventually going to find your compassion and forgiveness for these people and everything that happened. but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to allow them back in your life or that you have to put your boundaries down. So this is all about you learning how to have more boundaries so that you can have the space to like live your life and like find your truth and like act on it. And you can't do that and write your book with all this energy leeching happening. So it's like this divine intervention came in to help. So that's what this is, divine intervention. So what's the next step for you in this relationship with your sister? They're saying you need to put this into your artwork. Channel what happened into your artwork. And they're like, you need to be strong and stay independent. They want you to stay independent of her for a while at least. And they're wanting you to continue with your art. They're saying like, don't like forget about this for now. Like they're going to balance that for you. There's going to be fairness. They want you to focus on your art. They're like, okay, now the distractions are gone. You need to go back to working on your book. And I feel like there's this procrastination and like, I feel like it's so hypocritical that I'm delivering this message to you because I haven't written my book in weeks and like, I need to write my book. I guess I'm just kind of waiting till after the holidays. Just kind of waiting till things chill out a little bit. But for you, a message coming through is you need to write it and you need to write it now. They're saying to face your fears and not back down. So it's like you're afraid to write this book and maybe you're having to be really vulnerable with this book. Maybe you're having to write a lot about your experience. And so they're just saying to continue to channel these emotions through your artwork. Like this is the path for you. So now let's look at the situation with the other person. The other person you had the falling out with. Once again, this is a sign of abundance and fertility. So they're saying this is the path to abundance for you. These clouds, I feel like this represents the situation, but it's like the clouds are parting and what's stronger is the moon. Like you've been asking for things. You've been trying to manifest things. You've been focused. You've been visualizing, you've been fantasizing, and guess what? The universe is like, all right, let's bring it. And so now you're creating space for these things you've been asking for, and everything seems like it's all going like wonky and all over the place. But what's really happening is the energy is just transforming around you. It's going to settle in a positive way. So they're saying, hold the light. You need to hold the light, which means just continue to be grounded in your truth and have faith and hope and trust in the universe. Hope that and have positive thoughts that things are changing for the better for you. So the next step for you is work on your root chakra. That's coming out so hard for you, the root chakra. And I'm seeing this sign here that you're stuck in indecision. You're stuck in boredom and apathy. And even though there's a lot of abundance and all these ideas around you, like what you could do is you could use alchemy, which is basically taking all these negative emotions and energies and transmuting them into something positive. And that's what I'm doing with these readings, actually. You know, I have so much energy and passion coming up inside of me, if you can't already tell. And it's because all this stuff I've been through in life. It's because I have a lot to say. And I'm taking all of these emotions and intense energies and I'm transmuting them into something that's like loving and positive and uplifting. You know, I'm trying to like be the change, you know. Maybe like I figure one person out there spreading love and hope and reminding people to look up is better than everyone out there who's spreading all the hate and the fear, you know. And so I see with you, like, all these intense emotions that you're experiencing with this, like, there is a way for you to channel it into your artwork and for it to actually become a positive, uplifting thing. Just think about painters, you know. Sometimes a painter will, like, ferociously paint something and, like, because they're, like, in a frenzy and, like, having anxiety or having these emotions come through, or and then they'll, you know, put it up in their house and beautiful, you know, it's beautiful and people will come see it and it'll help uplift them and they'll think, wow, this is really adding to the room and I love these colors and the way it looks. And maybe the reason the person painted it was because they were freaking out and they had pain and stress and I'm talking about myself again. I paint a lot of my emotions. And, you know, just think about that. Just think about how something in the start could come from like this mess and this intense energy, but in the end it can end up beautiful. And that's you in your life, and that's you in this situation. It's like the cycle of life, of death and rebirth, you know? We're getting meta here. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the overall lesson. This is an extra card I added in because I'm thinking, you know, what do you need to take away from this? And the overall lesson is you're learning how to trust your intuition more. You're starting to understand like what energies you should allow into your life and what energies you're better off without. You're starting to understand what's for you, and you're learning your truth through all of this. And you're also getting some experience with healing, because at some point in your life, you're going to need some healing. That's just how it goes. Everyone experiences loss. No one is immune. And so at some point, you have to go through this grieving process, through this healing process, through this transformation process. We're all growing and evolving and changing here on this planet, and no one is immune. And so it's like you're getting experience. It's kind of like you're earning your wings here. You're going to be going through the cocoon, and you're going to come out the butterfly. And hang on, it's going to be a wild ride, but transformation, you're going to start getting used to this theme in your life. And the more that you can embrace the change, and the more that you can embrace the transformation, you know, it's going to be a smoother ride for you. You're going to find more balance and peace. That's what Rainbow Harmony is all about. It's never going to be perfect. I'm working on this. I'm a work in progress. We all are. But it's nice when you can start understanding these patterns in life and in the universe, and you can kind of start like flowing with it better. And that's kind of what you're learning here. So now we're going to see how you can move forward with your book. And I think they're saying you don't need to worry about this. It's going to come naturally. These energies are going to hit you. And that's how it's been with my book. I wrote 53 pages in like 2 weeks at one point. And it was because like this energy hit me. And I feel like you're going to be receiving this gift of energies to help you through this. And but look, you're getting the Independent card. Now that you have this space, there's nothing standing in the way of you writing this book anymore. And this is what you need to spend your time on. This is you before. You were stuck in this pit of snakes, and now you're able to kind of slither your way out of that. And your perspective is going to change. And once you change the way you think, once you change your perspective, the world around you changes. Because the way you see the world changes. Very interesting. As within, so without. So you need the space to figure out like how you feel, what your truth is, what you think, and not be dependent on like other people's opinions and stuff like that. And that's what this is all about for you. Your book is going to be all about you now, and you have plenty of space and time to write it. So now let's look at the overall advice. They're pretty simple here. They're just like, be strong through this separation. This is going to connect you more with your inner truth and with your spirit. I feel like this is a huge part of your spiritual awakening. A lot of times before you have a spiritual awakening, like your life will fall apart and all hell breaks loose. So it's a good sign. This is actually a really good sign that you're going through this. Because amazing things are going to happen. I'm just going to say it. Like, this is me talking now. Amazing things are going to happen. On my path, I had all hell break loose, and that was right before my dreams come true. I always tell everybody, the most chaos happens right before your dreams come true. They want you to not be bogged down so much by these heavy emotions, and to remove some of the guilt and the shame associated with this, and just pull yourself up and continue on and be strong. And a page a day. Let me pull a card for you from my personal deck, just because I'm really resonating with this, and I feel like my personal deck might have a message for you, just to wrap this up. It's so interesting how so many of you guys have similar stories to me and like what I'm going through. I get messages in these readings too, even though they're very personal to you. Okay. Oh my gosh. This card is totally for you. I'm going to read it to you. It's the Scarab Beetle card. It says, keep going. You are on the right path, but have no need to rush it. Pace yourself. It also reads, be aware of the things you do and take responsibilities for all of your actions. So part of this healing process is going to be you taking responsibility and realizing how you contributed to the drama. You also contributed to this drama that went down between you and your sister and this other person. And you're going to start to understand some of those sides of yourself, and you'll be able to work on that a little bit, but you'll also be able to know boundaries. Like, you'll know what sides of yourself you can't compromise on and you can't change. And you'll also realize certain behaviors inside you that are also kind of toxic and you need to like work on. And that's what I realized when I finally got to my healing process. First, it was just like, oh my gosh, all these people and all the horrible things they did to me. And then it was like, oh my gosh, I contributed. And then like I kind of got to work on healing all the stuff that was projected onto me and all the drama. And then I also got to work on like what I was projecting out because of all this. And so it was crazy. My healing process, everyone's is very unique, but I feel like that's something you're going to like understand eventually. And they're saying find a way to compromise so that you can maintain your own personal integrity and beliefs while staying true to yourself. So maybe like you've been adopting other people's beliefs or like certain societal or cultural beliefs that aren't truly in alignment with you. So the part of this new path you're on is going to be like, what do you really believe? Like, what do you truly believe? And that's something that's always going to be, you're going to be molding and shaping throughout your life and as you grow and go through certain lessons. But there comes a point where you need to solidify like certain core truths and get rid of other core truths that aren't serving you. That's where you're at. So now they're saying right now, find a way to remove yourself from the drama and be a harbor of sanity in the midst of insanity. I love that. Remove yourself from the drama and be a harbor of sanity in the midst of insanity. And this is such a beautiful message. So it says, Scarab Beetle wants you to know that there will be a positive outcome to your situation at hand. Things are rolling to a close. Maintain your integrity for a quick resolution. So yeah, it's going to work out. And I would love to hear back from you on how this all works out. But I hope that this reading helps you find balance and peace. I know it's been a tough journey for you. I'm sending you so much love and light. Peace out.